I'm studying as hard for you. And she at a loss of words. But I want to thank you for the work that you provided us with. I want to thank you for the privileges, and I want to thank you for all the teachings. I want to reassure my family, my mother's friends, that I am my mother's son, and I will stand and protect my little brother and care for my little brother, provide for my little brother. Tepa, I love you, boy. Mama tsamile, but we are not alone. She is with us in spirit. I want to say so much, but like I don't know what to say. I spent the last 4 days thinking about what I'd say today. And thoughts came and left my mind, and it seems like nothing stuck. But I think the most important thing to say today is thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama, for showing us the world. The one word that keeps coming to mind is privilege. Mama gave us so much privilege. We were spoiled, Tepang, extremely so. I'm going to try my best to upkeep the standard of living that Mama provided for us. Let's go, Mama.
Morawa ga KENOSI Setlhako Khumo itsile. There's a quote that says, we all die. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will. KENOSI knew she would not live forever. That is why she instilled love into her kids. And that love will live forever in them. That love will live forever amongst us, those who knew KENOSI. Her love will live amongst us, family. It doesn't matter what privileges, privileges. It doesn't matter how much privilege you give your kids. But had the privileges still they will be easily forgotten. Kumo, Obut, hold on to the love that your mother gave to you. Uli rutile go bontsha lerato, uli rutile the respect, the humility. Tswellang ka tsone di ske la di lebala. Let those that she taught you live forever. Re tla gopola KENOSI ka lona. Re tla bona KENOSI ka lona. Mo go lona. Ha ke biletsa mo sebuwing se se latelang. Ke biletsa a friend o Sintswaki to come and share with us her friendship with Kenosi. Hanse ke re Kenosi ke mamane. Ke mamane. Ke re Kenosi fela, but the respect e ke nang le yona for Kenosi ya tshabega. O sentswa ke ha o tla atamela ka sefela sa gago, o tla go re itsisi ka mo phetseng lo Kenosi ka teng. Tia ausi wa ka, o phetse le Kenosi ke tsala di phela mmogo. Re tla utlwa re le phetse jang. Ke nela mo go wena.
Leboha. Ere ke nke monyetla ona ke dumedise kereke, ke dumedise bomme le bontate bohle ba kopaneng kwano, ke dumedise lelapa. Nna le Kenosi re kopane ko Sunday school. Ho na le party tse pedi tse ileng tsa kopantshwa ho etswa St Thomas. So Kenosi ba ne ba kenela ka rutana, rona re kenela karabelo. But ha kereke e kopantshwa ga ba closer. Ra kena Sunday school, re rutwa ke ntate Mogeledi. Ra fitela ho bana ba lebese, re rutwa ke mme Ana le mme le ke bala jwale ke le mme mang. Jwale ho no le monate ha re tsamaile ka lebese, hobane ne ra atisa ho ya mona Retesburg. Ha re ile Retesburg ka lebese, mme Ana le mme ma Mokgatla ba ne ba rata hore re arohantshwe, gore e mong a robale ka nqane ho mme Ana, e mong a robale ka nqane ho mme ma Mokgatla. Mara ha ba qeta ho galeha, re tlo tsipa maoto ana bo mme Ana, re qala ka bona. Re ba tsipa ka tlasa maoto ka mo. O qala ka nqane, ke qala ka nqeng. Ha re qeta re tsipa le bana ba bang, ha qeta ra ithobatsa. Hoseng tla be re botsa gona ho tlile jwang o le robale together hape. A thire le kgawantse. So friendship ya rona e tswa mo, ha re tswa lebeseng baneng ba lebese, bitswa milk guilty today. Re be re kena a fellowship e hona jwale e bitswang ka hore ke Wesley Guild. Empa Kenosi ha ka ba tsamana ko etelele ho Wesley Guild. Nna ka sala le bo Setshego, le bo Tijomo, le bo Slow. Ka sala le bona mo. Ra boela ra setswalle sa rona sa tia hape ha re tswa college. Ha tswa Straidomo, ke tswa Tshia, setswalle sa rona sa fihla sa tia le ho feta. Khumo a sentse a le teng. Ha ne ke fihla lapeng mona, kore ke ne ke rata ho tla ka baesekele ho tswa ka Basothong, ne re bitsa jwalo, ne ke tswa ka Basothong ke tla ka Tigela. So ne ke tla ka baesekele ena re tla ipotetsa ka morao ka mane be re fetela klase kwana ho bosaphokazi bana ba moruti Madela re ilo bapala le bona ha ntse re le moo re be re Kenosi ya ba re no mare re ka ska ra ba di friends fela tse sa etseng letho because ine le motho wa progress a ba re ha re buleng khwaere ha re tsebe ho bina kaofela ka nako eo mara ba ha re buleng khwaere re kgoneng ho bina ko kerekeng a ke re bana ba kereke ene re tla tsejwa ka eng kerekeng ha re sa etse something re be re forma khwaere nyana le bo my cousin Sam Mokgobo bo Mr Mojaki re forma khwaere eo re binang kaofela re apara diketenyana tse khutshwanyane tse khubedu ho le monate jwale Kenosi ya ba re no man ne ke nahana hore re ska nna ra practice-etsa mahala re kope kereke hore e re fe sebaka re etse concert so re be re kopa he bontate Thekiso le bo Oupa ntate Lesia re ba kopa hore ne re batla ho etsa concert because re na le choir ke ntate Thekiso ba re santsane re lo kopana le bontate Pule re dule fatshe jwalo ka di steward tsa kereke re shebe hore na tabena ya lona ihlile re tla e amohela na so karabo ha ikgutla e be re ha hona hore ka nnete le ka etsa concert ha re tswa mo Kenosi ya ba re Mati tlo kwena o tlo kwalang o tlo kwala lekwalo batho ba rona re dira something mo kerekeng bone ha ba batle re dira concert kwala lekwalo ene ke tlo go bolella gore o reng so o re honna no kwala gore re shwabile nko go heta molomo I did not even understand myself ko reng hore o swabile ka nako eo hore o swabile nko o feta molomo so ha lengolo le fihla ho di steward tsa kereke ra bitswa ra omanywa goed but that's where I started to see botho ba Kenosi hore Kenosi ha dumela ntho o batla hore etsahale friendshiping ya rona le Kenosi re entse tsohle tseo di teenagers di etsang re entse botoutu re shapuwe together re omantswe together empa botho ba rona ha boka ba change re ile ga lahla fela tsene re bona di sa hlola di re lokela di sa re tshwanele friendshiping ya rona re le babedi we have always been different ke hopola hore ke yona ntho e ntseng hore re be metswalle nako e telele ona le motelele ke ne ke le mokhutswanyane ka seemo o buela hodimo ke motho a buelang hodimo o tseba ho beya taba ya hae ha re ha ke batle ntho itseng ha batle ntho itseng nna ke tseba ho compromise haholo jwale ho fapaneng ha rona le Kenosi ha ka ba are change o be nna kapa nna ke yena a change e be nna o tla utlwa ha re bua ke bua Sesotho Kenosi na bua Setswana empa re ne re bua jwalo every day a bua Setswana sa hae ke bua Sesotho sa ka empa neng re utlwana ha a nyalwa o re honna he mkhosi ke thabile because o tla nthusa ka Sesotho ho tshepa ke be ke re he o nyetse o tla ithuta Sesotho o tla se bua and we la bua Sesotho ka baka la tshepang are tshepang ke Mosotho ke tshwantse ke mo rute Sesotho so ona a le fluent ka dipuo tsohle re lebohela bophelo ba Kenosi le lerato la hae Kenosi was a sharer hono hana ho le thata a ba re Mati ke na le eng ke kopa o tlo tseya eng a ba re Mati ke na le bokana ke kopa re share ona sa batle ho bona motho a lapileng kapa a sokolang ona a thusa haholo batho ba bonang hore wa sokoleha ene ona sa etse le rata ka ho thusa batho ona sa etse le rata ka ho thusa batho Kenosi una tseba ho sebeletsa kereke Kenosi kila ya ba le gosa ka hare ho kereke ya St Thomas le ileng la tlisa change hore re le batjha re gona ho sebetsa ka kerekeng kereke ya St batho ba baholo a tlisa change ya hore come as you are at church. Ntho ya hore re bentse re hatelletswe, tshwantse re apare mese e hohobang, re leleka le bana hore ba ye dikerekeng tse ding. Empa ba ka amohelwa mona bo matswalang teng. Kenosi o ne a dumela ho Modimo. Connection ya Kenosi le ntate Modimo e ne e makatsa. Lately o na re kereke ke mabota. E important ke kopano ya motho le Modimo wa hae. And o ile a ba strong tumelong. Le ha a bua lately, batho ba followang Kenosi Instagram, Facebook, batla hopola hore matsatsing a Kenosi o ne a posta difela, o ne a posta diverse, o ne a re kgothatsa. Nna ke ne ke le wese because in the mornings o tla nsendela, hona le moruti ana rata mo mamela, o tla nsendela thero ya moruti eo. Neng o tla bua yena ka bo yena mantswe a batlang hore a nkgothatse ka ona. She was a strong person. Ha re tshwantse re mo tshedise, o na tshedisa rona. Ha mma hlokahala, re tlile mo, Kenosi o kene a tshedisa rona ba neng balla. Wa bona nna he, o no sa tlo bua ka nna o Kenosi. O no sa tlo nkutlwisa bohloko Kenosi a tseba kapa a bona. She was always there for me. She was always there for my children. Kenosi, ona ana le lerato. Kenosi ne le a straight talker. Ha sa batle ntho na ibua hona jwale, e fitile, ona sa tsebe ho kwata. Ha wena o mo kwatetse, ke taba ya hao. Mare yena, ona bua ntho, re ilukise hona jwale, e be e fele hona jwale. Jwale ke kopa ha e benyane mo o dutseng teng. Kenosi o ile a o fosetsa, tseba hore o la lebala. Fumana ka ho wena ho mo tshwarela. Kenosi o ne a rata bana ba hae, Khumo Itsile, Dodo, Tshepi, la tseba hore Kenosi lerato la hae ne le jwang. And Kenosi was an encourager. She was a teacher. E seng setjhabeng fela le ho lona. Dodo, I'm sure you will stand up. Kenosi o ne sa batle batho ba tefang. O ne batla motho a etsang something. Ona encourage batho hore ba eme. Are show your talent. Are Modimo ha ona motho a mo timmeng talent. Hlahisa talent e Modimo a o fileng yona. A etsa dintho tseo ka lerato. A etsa dintho tseo ka lerato. I'm sure you knew how your mother loved me. Le nna ke le rata fela jwalo. Le a tseba. Kenosi o ile a change ho mpitsa sister. Are ha e wa utlwa le Tshepang le Khumo Mati ba o bitsa sister. So ke prefer hore ke mpe ke re sister, ke mpe ke re Mati ba sale ka sister bona he, because they are taking you over from me. So bomme le bontate, bophelong bo re bophetseng le Kenosi re ne re na le tjhebelo pele. Re ne ntse re buisana ka hore ka June re ya Rwanda. Ha wa phethahala o phethahetse thato ya Modimo. Re ne re bua ka botsofeng ba rona hore re tlo etsa eng. Re re ha re na ba bonkgono re sa palama dikuta, re tshwantse re lo etsa di-license tsa ho palama dikuta. Re sukudise bo Sizwe le bo Khumo. Re ba setele standard se high, ba kgone hore ba tle ka mora rona. Re phetse ha monate ka dithuto tse mma a ileng a di fa Kenosi. Tseo ke tshepang hore Khumo o tla dula o di hopola. Tshepang o tla dula o di hopola. Kenosi ne le motho a respectful, a ratang batho ba hlomphang ka tsela e makatsang. O na buela hodimo. So batho ba bangata ba ne ba mo misinterpreta ka hore o bohale kapa o hlaha. Marona na le lentswe le hodimo and o na le fem. Modimo o re fe kgotso. O le rato, Modimo o fe kgotso, o re fe peace. Hore ha a tlosa Kenosi hobaneng, o mo tlositse hobane yena o ne a phethile seo Modimo na mo rome sona lefatsheng. Rona ko tswela pele re tshwarane re ratane. Lelapeng lohle ke a tseba hore Kenosi o itse le qadile ho tjhakelana every month o a hamang, kgweding e feng ho a hamang. Ke kopa le tswele pele because Kenosi o na rata unity. Modimo re fe kgotso kaofela ha rona. Ke a leboha. Moya wa hae o robale ka kgotso Mati.
Ke rutile re sehela sehele jwa ka amen. Re ba wesele ke no se tsamaye le mo wesele o se tswa ke mo wesele o se tswa ke re a leboga ka botshelo bo bo sherileng, the words that you shared ka the life you lived with Kenosi. One of the poets says, death leaves a heartache no one can heal. But love leaves a memory no one can steal. All the memories that you shared with Kenosi and all other friends, no one will steal those memories. Ke tsa lona. Those are your treasures. Ke tsona tse o le tla gopolang botshelo ba ga Kenosi ka tsone. O sentwa ke buile ka go share. Let's learn to share as people. A re thusane. A re se ke ra kgotsofalla moagisane ha a o mmona a hata kwale o tlholwa ke go mo thusa o kgona. Kenosi was a teacher. I don't know if am I a product ya ga Kenosi or yang. Ha ke itse go ema ka pele ga batho, but ke nna o ke eme. O rile ke tla take her over from yena. She was our communicator as a family. So ha ke itse ha ana rwala size 3 e telele yana ke tla e kopa yang. Ene e le kgeleke e kana kana. Re a leboga o sentswaki ka the life you shared. Ha re tla biletsa mo go a colleague, a person who worked with Kenosi, a person who knew Kenosi differently. O sentswaki knew Kenosi ka sekgotsi. Let us call a colleague who knew Kenosi professionally. A ritse gore a ona le lerata le le kana la nala le lona ko tirong kana jang. Ha re bitsa ntate Tshepo Nkubeni a tla go re itsisi gore o Kenosi, was she a hard worker like another driver, gore re ne di hard worker ha re dula ha tsiene ba ema a phuta o ipotsa gore why wena o dula ha tsiene ba ema. Ntate Nkubeni ka sefela sa gago o re go binele sefela o tle ka mo pele. Ra leboga.
I'd like to greet everybody in the name of Jesus Christ. I listened to many speakers giving a talk about KENOSI. So, dimension is the dimension from the work perspective as a colleague. But like the MC said that when you work with KENOSI, it's very much difficult to ignore the other side of her. The other side, the vibrant side of KENOSI, the robust discussion, the friendship that we'll always have. But allow me, Bagesu, to pass a few messages. There are some people, as we know, that the Rekamara COVID, especially in the middle of the fourth wave, some people wanted to be here, but unfortunately, because of the restriction of the limited numbers in terms of the funeral attendance, one of them is the chairperson of the board that sent her heartfelt condolences on behalf of the entire board. Her name is Mena Namahomola. She worked very close with KENOSI. She sent her heartfelt condolences to KENOSI's family and friends. Obviously, she would love to be here personally, but due to limited funeral attendance numbers associated with COVID restriction, she could not be here. And secondly, colleagues, our CEO, recently appointed CEO, Mr. Isham, gave me a message from the entire SOS community. And the message is from him on behalf of SOS community, and it reads as such. It is with a great sadness that we bid farewell to KENOSI SETLHAKO. Her sudden departure has shocked and shaken all of us to the core, because KENOSI was part of South African Weather Service family, and she will really be missed. KENOSI has left an inedible mark whenever she has worked, and carried with her experience and vibrant personality. She has influenced many people and processes, both in and outside the organization. Our colleague here at SOS speak very fondly of KENOSI, and her training as a teacher has stood her in a good state during her life and her tenure at South African Weather Service. She was very firm, as everybody knows, but she also loved teaching others and lifting them up to their higher achievement. She has touched the lives of many people. She had an innate ability to guide and lead people. She has mentored many people during her career. They are surely going to miss her guidance and insight. We came to know her during the time with us as at work as a colleague, but also as a mother, as a daughter, as a leader, a friend, and confidant. She has shared this role with us. We have seen her in all these areas of her life and are inspired by the approach to life. KENOSI has succeeded in her life despite many and varied challenges. She has up until recently shown her strength and resilience and the love for her family after the sad loss of her mother. We can only imagine the grief that you as a family are experiencing at this double loss, but are comforted by God. God always has His plan for all of us, and that there are good reasons that He chooses to take them back to so close to each other, meaning KENOSI and the mom. We are really very sorry for your loss and extend our sincere condolences to the whole family. KENOSI also had a forceful nature when needed, so that things got done, and very outgoing personality. But she cared about people as well. Her colleagues will miss her vibrancy, and her leadership, and she has helped SOS through some tough times. She has acted in very senior executive position while the post was vacant of being an executive HR. And her leadership and commitment to the organization and the citizen were visible throughout her acting period. She has surely served the entity, which is South African Weather Service, and the people of our country with distinction and with pride. I saw a quote that reads as follows: "They that love beyond the world cannot be disparaged by it." I think it sums KENOSI up perfectly. She really loved the family very much, and a sudden and unexpected departure will surely leave a void, especially to her children, whom she loved dearly. She was a committed mother and will do anything for them. We ask the Almighty that He hold their hands and the rest of the family's hands very tightly during these trying times. We pray that her souls rest in eternal peace and that God grants you strength and fortitude in this time of need. We pray that you will be able to make peace with her passing and be assured that she will be looking out for you from above. We also pray that you will be comforted, that His mercy will allow us to all meet again, and that we'll once again be together. Hamba kahle sis KENOSI, rest in power. This was the message from the CEO on behalf of the staff. So the main message, the other message, colleagues, that I will render, which will be shortly, is from me as a colleague and also as a friend and also as a person who knew KENOSI throughout the years, I think from 2010, if I'm not mistaken. And colleagues, I can only say that it's okay. I can only say that although liswa le tlwaelege, but ho lokile. I will try to contextualize KENOSI's life as follows. KENOSI, the first tenure at South African Weather Service, where she first joined us in 2011, like the previous speaker says. And also we had KENOSI's second tenure at Source, where she returned last year, obviously to finish what she started. And also, there is a KENOSI as a friend that I'll also touch briefly on that. And lastly, I'll touch on KENOSI, the departed soul. Oh, colleagues, KENOSI possessed a very strong personality. What a dedication, what a dedicated human being. She was very robust, yet factual in her approach to engagement and discussions. She managed to fix South African Weather Service Communication Department. We had many challenges, but she managed to fix them. She introduced protocol in sort of engagement. She always protected the image and integrity of South African Weather Service. Mainstream media will know that you don't engage Weather Service without first engaging KENOSI, especially the weather forecasters who are forecasting weathers on a daily basis. Mainstream media, whether it's SAB, whether it's newspapers, whether it's ATV or whatever, they know that you have to first ask for a permission from KENOSI in advance also, so that she can prepare the interview accordingly. There were times when the media, most of the time when we have severe weather or we have tornado, the mainstream media will flock into our offices. They will demand to have interviews. There were times when they were chased away by KENOSI and said that I know that this is your priority, but I also have protocol. If you want to engage my people at South African Weather Service, you let me know in advance. You prepare questions so that I can prepare interviews. But because now you just bulge into our building, I'm sure I won't be able to help you. They begged and begged and begged, but unfortunately they have to be turned away. That was KENOSI for you. She really possessed a very strong personality. Everybody at weather service will surely be saying engagement. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a KENOSI second tenor at South African Weather Service. She left, and now she came back. I think it was last year during September. But or to my surprise, KENOSI was not the robust KENOSI that I knew back then in 2011. I don't know if some of the colleagues or some of the friends have experienced that KENOSI 10 years ago and KENOSI now, somewhere, somehow. For me, KENOSI that I knew was not the KENOSI that I knew then. There were a lot of things that will happen to her, and she will let them pass. The no-nonsense KENOSI that I knew then, she was not going to let that pass. I will engage her and say, but KENOSI, why do you let that thing pass? And say, Tsepo, sometimes you have to let other things pass for the sake of peace. She was somewhere reserved for my liking. I mean, I know the vibrant, energetic KENOSI, but somehow she was very much reserved. I'm talking from last year to now. As a result, the current colleagues who did not know KENOSI by then, they never experienced the real KENOSI. And until his passing, they never experienced who the real KENOSI was. Despite this COVID complication, I did enjoy her second spell at South African Weather Service. She will phone me anytime during the day, during the night, especially in the times of difficulties and challenges, and she will ask for my advice, and I will heed to the call. I remember in September last year when I interviewed her, she was unquestionably top. I knew that because I knew her from the previous engagement. But even that, I could see that there was something missing with KENOSI. Because the KENOSI I knew, you will interview her, but she will end up interviewing you. As a panel member, she will end up actually correcting you that you're not supposed to ask me this question is supposed to be like this. But yet she will go back and answer the question that you've asked. That's the KENOSI that I knew. But I didn't experience that during the interview last year. Little did I know that she was giving me a sign. Little did I know that she was actually saying to me, I'm here for a short period to finish what I've started during the first tenor, and I will soon depart. How I so wish that I had a crystal ball to know that when she gave me a sign to say that I'm not KENOSI that you used to know, because I'm just here briefly to finish what I've started and depart. And colleagues, lastly, KENOSI as a friend. I knew her from 2011, and we immediately clicked. There were a couple of us at management at the time. We were still young and vibrant. I think it was 2011. That will engage even beyond work and socialize. I remember the likes of Ausin Anto, who's also a close friend of KENOSI from Pretoria. Dr. Hlonipo, who also stays here in Bloemfontein. Austami, Pramnix, who's also our executive. Lulama, who's our senior manager and who was once acting CEO, and etc. and etc. And at the center of everyone, there was KENOSI. Now you can realize that how happy I was when she returned to rejoin us at Weather Service. Because for me, it was like a perfect reunion. But I don't want to lie, colleagues. I'm angry at KENOSI. And I'm still angry now at our KENOSI. And to give you a context to say why I'm saying that I'm still angry at KENOSI, because even during his first tenure at South African Weather Service, when she left us, I only tend to know during her last days. And I questioned her and said, KENOSI, why I only know now that you are leaving us? I mean, it's 2 days or 3 days. And she said to me, Tepo, don't worry, everything's under control. And I'm sure those who knows KENOSI, if he tells you that everything is under control, no one will dare question her. Because she meant exactly that. And I said, okay, that was fine. Even now, I did not know that she was hospitalized. I chatted to her every day. I talked to her every day. Little did I know she was on the hospital bed. I only knew about her passing on Friday. I was so shocked because I was communicating with her, like I said, all the time, even on Friday. She never mentioned a single thing that she's not well. That's where you can see that she was so dedicated to her work that even during her last days in hospital, KENOSI was still engaging with colleagues as if nothing was wrong. All those colleagues that I engaged with after her passing, everybody was shocked and said, but I was talking to KENOSI on Tuesday, but I was talking to KENOSI on Wednesday, but she gave me advices on Thursday, but Friday morning we're talking to her. Everybody was shocked because none of them had a clue that she's actually in a hospital bed when they were engaging with her. And last year during December, colleagues, I think it was around, last year during December 2020, one of our friends, Mr. Tebatsukekana, who was an executive and later left, he hosted us at his house. We had so much fun. We're looking forward for another outing this year in December because we said that we must have that outing on a yearly basis. Little did we know that it was the last December outing with her. And colleagues, KENOSI, like they said, love her family very much. She always spoke dearly about them. And lastly, I will depart by touching on KENOSI, the departed soul. May soul rest in eternal peace. May the guardian angels be with her departed soul to eternity. As we mourn the death of our KENOSI, let's also remember Matthew 5 verse 4, which says, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. To all family, colleagues, friends, and compatriots, we must always remember that as we mourn the departed souls of our KENOSI, the Almighty God will always find a way to comfort us. He will always find a way to mend our broken hearts. And always remember that none of the challenges are above God. He will always guide you through trials and tribulations. And most importantly, you must remember that times heal. Yes, it still feel like yesterday. And even next year for some people, it still feel like yesterday, but time heals. And all these colleagues and family, all these too shall pass. And when the going gets tough and you feel like you cannot take it anymore, you have to resort also to Psalm 23 verse 4 that says, even though I walk through the vale of death, I will fear no evil, for you are always with me. And lastly, also remember Isaiah 41 verse 10 that says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. May the departed soul of our KENOSI rest in peace. I thank you.
Akukho onjengaye Ke a leboga re Nkubeni ka molaetsa o tswang ko di-colleagueng tsa ga Kenosi. Ha re lemoge gore most of our lives re bophela ko re berekang teng. From morning to the afternoon, re na le di-colleague. We only spend nakonyana e nyane le family. We go to sleep, we wake up again, we go to the colleagues. Ra leboga ka botshelo jo le bophetseng le Kenosi ka the good relationship e le buildileng le Kenosi over the years. It's not easy gore motho ha tswa kwa berekileng teng a ka boela gape. Le ha o ka rata a ba ka go amogela gape. But South African Weather Services e amogetse Kenosi because Kenosi was a hard worker. They knew the person Kenosi was. That was Kenosi kwa berekang teng. One author once said, "Death is a fiction of the unaware. There is only life, and life alone moving from one dimension to another." And Kenosi mastered that. Kenosi mastered the friendship part. Kenosi mastered the family part. Kenosi mastered her professional life. Those are the dimensions tse ke buang ka tsona. You say Kenosi did not even indicate gore wa bobola. Motlhapi o nagana o na le nako. One author just said, I just remembered this, as I quote him, the trouble is you think you have time. Kenosi thought she had time. Gore a boele ko South African Weather Services. Kenosi thought she had time. Gore a bolelle everybody gore wa bobola, o nantsa ro tla kopana le bone a tswa sepetlele. She thought she had time. We think we have time. Botshelo ha se ba rona. Botshelo ke ba Modimo. Modimo o tsa botshelo jwa gagwe tereg at any given time. Ha kope permission o re adimile. Re a leboga ba South African Weather Services. Ha re biletsa to another friend. Kenosi had many friends. Motlhapi di friendship tsa gagwe ntse di na le di dimensions I do not know. But as we call upon Osnomsa Philiso, go tla gore blella ka the other friendship, the other dimension of friendship that she had with her. Osnomsa Philiso, ha o tla ka sefela sa gago, o tla gore fa the other dimension of your friendship with Kenosi.
Dumelang kaofela ke leboha sebakanyana se ke se fuweng hore ke tlo bua ka mokgotsi wa ka Kenosi. Ke leboha le phutheho kaofela. The truth is I stand here on behalf of bakgotsi ba rona ba bangata, and I might not be able to do justice to Kenosi because for us it still feels very unreal. But I know hore Kenosi would be saying, "Kgotsi ke tseba pelo ya hao."
And I know that she's looking down on me with compassion and understanding. Kenosi's life was full. Kenosi's sense of adventure was unparalleled. I remember when I met her and she was relating to me, I nikile Japan, and I'm like, who does that? You know, but that was her sense of adventure. Kenosi was very intense. She loved hard. She loved hard in every sphere of her life, whether it was family, whether it was friends, and even those that hurt Kenosi. Kenosi knew to balance, to say, it's all part of the process. Or, you know, when the sun shines, always remember that it will rain. So she never about anything that people did to her to hurt her. So she was always very perceptive, and even some of us that would go through the many heartbreaks, like Kenosi would be like, life is too short. Like she didn't have time for nonsense for us. So you could not sit and say, hey, Emma, what happens next? So the way that Kenosi touched our lives as friends, I know for a fact that we are all the better for it, for having met her, for having had her in our lives. So Nali Kenosi, we first met go SABC. So we started off as colleagues, but that didn't last very long. Within 2-3 months, so the exchange of the friends, Bontwaki, Bompuse, you know, everybody else that I shared my friends with her, and she did the same. My relationship, my friendship with Kenosi, it was not loud. Yes, Kenosi was loud, but our friendship was not loud. It had a depth and a sincerity that was just only ours. And I'll say only ours because I get to pick up to Baba. But, you know, we would do these sessions, like Kenosi, where we would say, and she used to call those the soul sessions, and we would laugh, having spoken about everything and anything. And it was in those moments that I really understood the corners and the crevices of your soul, things that hurt you, things that make you happy, things that you aspire to, your passions, your desire for how we had something in common, like the first bonus and we will continue to do that to say, guys, start your own businesses, do your own thing, because corporate was cruel to us in more ways than one. You would know what Kenosi went through in terms of corporate, and we made a vow for as long as we can. Banabarona will not go to 8 to 5. Other people would say, hey, Banabana was spoiled, who are looking, but it was for us to try and give you something better, so that you do not have to go through what we went through. You do not have to put up with people that are intimidated by your strength, with people that are just going to make life miserable for you just because you are better than them. And that was really the one thing that we had in common, and we would pray about it, and we would make sure, however we support you, I know but the support was coming from a place that says you can build something of yourself, and because we believe in that. So those were some of the things that we held very dear to us. Sometime this year, we both lost best friends, Mbuse Lisnayo, and you know, we journeyed together through the loss, trying to understand. Then it was Ma. So Kenosi went through so much loss this year that a selfish part of me, yes, didn't want her to go, but I also wonder how much more did she need to take in terms of loss. You know, so that sort of gives me comfort to say, you know, for him, you know. But more than anything, I want to thank Kenosi. I want to thank Kenosi and Limudimu for Kenosi having been part of my life, because I learned so much from her. You know, Kenosi was everything. She was fun. But she was also fun, and she cared deeply, you know. So I remember even, I don't know that it was 2009 or whatever, but She literally lost her mind. She was like, never, never. But how so no, you know. And she made sure her Friday remote. So it was a lot of fun, and yeah, there are a lot of memories. Kenosi was fun. She was a jokester, and she liked to take on things that's about you know. So everything for her was an experience, and that really just made her a whole person. So I think Tukumo, your mother loved you very much, and she was extremely proud of you. She was proud of the young man you had become, and there's only one thing that I want to say to you, Kuhore. No matter what happens, whether in fun, whether in hard times, always ask Kuhore, what would Mama say? Because that will ground you. That will always bring you back to the values that you know, even in decision making, because it will get tough where you just don't know what to do. But also learn to listen to the inner voice. We know, Rona, that have had a lot of loss to say. Actually, they do speak to us. So try to be in tune, but speak to her all the time, because right now she's here. She's with us. She knows our thoughts. Speak to her. Sepa, you have grown to be such a beautiful and amazing youngster. Ke kopa hore o mamele Kumo. O mamele Kumo, take guidance from Kumo, because he knows more than you do. He knows better than you do. One thing to you, your mother valued education more than anything, Molfate. Your performance in the past 3-4 years was a very proud thing for her. So hold on to that. Make sure you go as far as possible, Kaskolo, because that's what she would want for you. You know, so, and you know, I hear a lot of people, you know, quoting stuff, but there is also a quote that I read that says that, you know, grief is just love looking for a place to express itself. So even when I have my down moments and I want to cry, I will remember her. It's because of the love I have for her, and I hope that that will carry us through. So with that, I'd like to say, and please continue to fight for your boys the same way you did when you were on earth. I love you so much, and I appreciate having spent time with Wena. Rest in peace, my friend. Because you guys did everything. I mean, really, but I want to thank Ntswaki, Manko, and everybody else that has pulled this thing through. As friends, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
The dimensions of friendships tse Kenosi a na le tsona. I hope she was not a bully mo di friendshiping tsa gagwe ka gore her word always went along, and it went a very long way. Kenosi was caring, Reabona, Kenosi was loving. Kenosi was everything you would expect from a person who's living. Ke tlo go bitsa tsala yeng gape ya ga Kenosi. Ke Dr. Dineo Tolo. Ha tlatla go re fa le ena nako ya rona ya re sia, nako ya kereke e atametse. Doctor, we bereketse Dr. Tolo ha wa tamela.
Dumelang bagaetsho, ke dumedisa lelapa la ga Setlhako le malapa otlhe a amanang le lone. Ke dumedisa Tshepi le Kumo, bana ba ga Kenosi. Last week Monday I wrote a message to her. Ke re mo go ene o na mpitsa my sis. Ke re my sis, you must get out of that place. You don't belong there. Are I'm going to be just fine. Wa itse gore ha ke le gwala. So I want to say to Tshepi and Kumo, you will be just fine. Your mother was not a coward. Ine se le gwala. I came, Kenosi ke ngwana mo gae. Ke kopane le Kenosi ko tlapeng. Ne re izana ke Kenosi ke nna tsatsi le leng ra kopana ko tlapeng e nngwe ntse re gola. Ke be ke bona something that I did not approve about her. Then I went over Gary. I think you must stop this. I think it's not proper. She could have said, "Why now, ma'am?" And she apologized. Bekir mokhene re tla e bua motlhang re kopanang out of this club. We met after that. Ha ke kopana le yone a re, my sis, ke a go bona gore yaanong o tsena mo ditlhakong tsa ga Tshego ne ke tsena le bo because yes. And so this is the life that was well lived. I buried my friend and my sis today on the day that my mother died, some 3 years ago. So for me, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice in the life well lived. I want to say Kenosi was a good leader, and good leaders, something that we need to appreciate is that good leaders are good followers. If you are not a good follower, forget you are not a good leader. And good teachers are good learners. Kenosi was a good learner. Rekopane ko Department of Women, and Kenosi came with vibrant energy. And everybody was like, they knew me because I started with the department in 2009, and Kenosi joined in 2013. Hi, Tlababona, this energetic person, and like in Swaki, I'm not that person. I'm Kimutobe Rekelanko Fatso Dilanko office. And Kenosi would be Utlatla Perusutu a yellow or a lime. And then she would be going up the stairs, down the stairs, this office, that office. But le bare o Kenosi ke bede ya gago are le botseng dineo rona ko Bloemfontein ra ihlahla re dula re le yana. So Kenosi was like that. But one thing that I want to highlight is the fact that Kenosi at the it was the Department of Women, Children, and People with Disabilities in the president, making sure that we ensure the rights of women, gender and women empowerment. So we would go to meet and our mandate until Kenosi came in 2013 at like a strategies of communication. Kenosi una go ruta gore o rutege ka nkane, and she would take over. She went to one of those meetings. IMR, bagaetsho relaxa. This is our mandate, and then she explained the mandate. She also came up with a campaign, and it was the Duke campaign. The Duke campaign is that the Department of Women ya go rerwale whether wa pere jini or wa pere ngwe rwala ka tuku. We are making a statement. We are here. We don't belong in the kitchen. We are more workplace to make tea. We don't come here to be cleaners. We have our places in the boardrooms. That is where Kenosi occupied her post. Re dula ko boardroom. Re bua le di minister, and Kenosi always lintula gaga le ne le utlwagala. The Duke campaign in the area, we want to reclaim our place as women. And we were saying, let each and every woman, atshware omo. Eish. Yeah. Ke tsone ditaba tsa technology.